Okay, folks, welcome back. You're still on Journalist Hangout this Friday. You know, the penalties for acquisition, use, or possession of illegal drugs are encapsulated in the laws that criminalize the offenses. For example, Section 19 of the NDLEA Act prescribes punishment ranging from 15 to 25 years in jail. But the National Assembly has amended the Act and therefore approved life imprisonment for drug traffickers. Both chambers of the National Assembly elected to tweak the existing laws during plenary, which was presided over by Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin. Now, the conference committees of both chambers overwhelmingly supported the amendment. May we state that drug trafficking, one of the 3 illegal trades worldwide, is much more dangerous than Boko Haram, Yusuf?
Depending on who is
saying what
and the angle you are coming from, the two are very deadly.
Okay.
We look at the level of drug use, drug abuse in our country. You say
not just drug and substance abuse.
Well, by that I mean the same thing.
Yeah.
You see, I was in a place this afternoon and I saw a congregation of guys, and I moved closer with what I saw in their hand. I cannot remember the main bits. Pronounced in Hausa, way. I can't remember now. What we did do to you, make them see well.
Yeah. Open their head.
That is what it is.
Whatever that means.
And you see how happy and these are not destitutes. These are hardworking guys who walk around my 12, many of them. I was shocked. So Nigeria, if you go to the north, it's also a problem in the south. If you go to the north, you see the level of drug use. Oh my God, it's really, really, really a big problem. If we choose to now apply death penalty, don't forget, before they arrived at this, the Judiciary Committee, the Human Rights Committee, the Rule of Law, I don't know, all like several committees, they all concluded that their report influenced what, to me, having it in our books as to deter drug traffickers is a beautiful thing, but is our judiciary cut out for this kind of, I'm really afraid. I've worked extensively in the past on NDLA, drug abuse, drug rehabilitation, and based on what I know, I'm really afraid. There was a time we used this Freedom of Information bill, and we got the report, this Paul Obayan report. We were able to get it. I published the names, and you see people sentenced, through NDLA activities, people that were sentenced to jail 10 years, thereabout. They, to say connivance, because it's really a big money, sector.
Oh, yeah.
You see connivance with prison authorities and court officials and some unscrupulous, elements within NDLA, and before you know it, they do swapping. That is at the level of just 5 years, 6 years, 10 years jail, time. That is to say, people will not go to jail. And many of these people...
For doing drugs.
Yes, after they've been convicted. I'm not saying things, I'm saying things that the records, we have records to prove it. And many of these are published. You see, what we are saying is we have a country of impunity. A country where accountability means nothing, So how do we go about it? The people behind drug business in Nigeria are not small fries.
Oh, yeah. They are not.
You know that.
Yeah.
So now, with death penalty, How do we go about it? I think by my research, we have about 20 countries around the world that prescribe death penalties in their laws for this offense.
Malaysia, for instance.
But many of them in the last 25 years, I've never executed anybody. So why not think about life imprisonment?
That's what they are saying.
But it's life imprisonment.
Now. They have agreed to life imprisonment.
The way is far better. But some other people who think about money and all that, we say, why would Nigeria be feeding you and taking care of?
You see, my trouble here is that before now, Nigeria was considered a transit.
We are still.
No. We have graduated.
Oh.
We have graduated from being a transit environment, we are neck deep in it.
Yeah, before I go into that, let me say something about the proposed law.
Okay.
That I am a bit worried about. The law, for example, says any person who unlawfully engages in the storage, custody, movement, carriage, or concealment of dangerous drugs or controlled substances, and while doing so is armed with an offensive weapon or disguised in any manner, commits an offense under this act and is liable upon conviction to life imprisonment.
Okay.
Now, the point I want to bring out is this proviso, and while doing so is armed with an offensive weapon or disguised in any manner. I think even this bill, this proposal as it is, with this proviso, this can even make the entire thing to be nothing. Because if you say why doing so is armed, what happens if in the process of concealment, movement, custody, storage, you are not armed?
If you don't have
No, hold on. Do you recall the Mpurumiri saga? You remember?
Yes, in the
crystal meth or something that came.
That people were just
before the NDLEA overpowered those people. They exchanged fire.
Okay, now the point is this. What happens if I'm not armed? And I engage in all of these things? That is the point.
If you're not armed, you cannot.
No, you don't get what we are saying. You don't get the message I'm saying.
Okay.
You are the Umporomu you are talking about. You are talking about the people that were taking it. These are the people's stories.
No. These are people producing it somewhere at Lekki, I remember.
It was even the one I'm talking about was even in the eastern part of the country where people just take it and they just.
I'm talking about the producers.
Okay.
They stole the place.
Yeah, well, the point is this. What happens if they are not armed? I think they should take care of that area.
It will make that law
because
working.
I am not a lawyer, but we also know that before you can, lawyers will also use any lacuna
in the law
to get escape routes for their clients and all of that. So I think that should be taken care of. And coming back to the issue of transit, or maybe I think we have since developed.
Yeah.
And the annoying thing or the worrying part of it is that there is hardly any day you walk on the streets of Lagos now that you don't see young men that will just be talking to themselves. You will just see them. They will be talking to themselves. They will be doing different kinds of things.
And I'm sure Yusuf knows this. If your cousin is clutching a bottle of a popular soft drink and you attempt to take a sip, you are in trouble. I don't know if you understand.
I understand what you mean, because they put those substances inside. And don't even think that he is talking about people working in my 12 and students. The student population
secondary school
that are in these things, you will be shocked. and they die. Many parents won't talk about them. They are,
these are seized bags of
okay, now.
substances.
So I think life imprisonment is just the minimum that anybody that does these things could get, because you are spoiling lives, you are destroying, destinies, you are destroying lives, you are damaging lives just because of money. But I quite understand the point he raised, that in getting this thing to work, we need to take care of our system, the prisons, the police, the NDLEA itself, so that at the end of the day, the actual culprits will get punished. Not just that you exchange somebody for somebody, and the real people that are into these things will.
And the fact that when you look at the existing law, there's a problem, because there's this light,
sentence,
like 2 years, 3 years. No, make it life for anyone.
Life is okay.
All right.
The moment it's proven life.
The National Assembly has
this is a good one anyway.
Yeah. So it's kudos to the National Assembly. At least the big idea is to cleanse my country, your country. Yeah. Okay, to our last but not least story. The news broke earlier in the week of the arrest and remand of pro-Biafra agitator, Finland-based Simon Ekpa, and 4 other accomplices in Finland. Not only has the Apex Igbo Sociocultural Organization, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, applauded the development as a huge relief for the Ndi Igbo, the Defense Headquarters has reacted to it. The Chief of Defense Staff